information, a lot of them, and just remember. I was talking to someone over, was it Friday or something, when we were in Abuja. I was having a counseling with them, and I was giving her dates. She was shocked. I was giving her some precise dates of certain things that happened 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I don't usually know, but the moment I start talking to you like this, those things will start coming back. I will just start remembering the precise, and it's the same way I keep information about virtually all of you. So I have a very large heart, a very large space in my heart. I can accommodate your wrongs. It's the same way you should be. You say, well, pastor, I'm not a pastor. No, you have the spirit of love in you. You can accommodate wrongs. You can make room. Someone can be shouting and screaming at you, and you don't even respond. And the time you respond, you just give one kind of cool response that just cools off the whole thing. The person is speaking to you, is expecting you to also fire back. But you didn't come with any fire ammunition. You only came with love. All conquering love. Hallelujah. You just overcome, you overpower that hurt with your response. As our proverb says, a soft response turns away wrath. A soft response just diverts anger, doesn't give it room. It takes two to fight. It takes two to fight. When one person does not respond, there's no fight. Though there are some many people, you will still drag your shirt. Are you not the one I'm talking to? Respond. You are a coward. Are you not the one I'm talking to? You can see, if you are patient a little longer, you can see that you have already overpowered him. It's paining him now. You have conquered him, but you are not seeing it yet. It's paining him that everything he did to you, you didn't respond. You made it clear that you saw it, but you chose to ignore those things. So he's now demanding, won't you respond? Won't you say something? You must say something. Say, well, I have nothing to say. Say, really? I have nothing to say. So it takes two to fight. When one person doesn't pick up the quarrel is left alone. They throw quarrel at you, but you refuse to pick it up. Someone addresses you in a way that is not nice. You refuse to fire back. That's the right way. But they spoke this way and said, whoa, I've been keeping quiet. Now you're about to lose it. Don't think I don't know what you are doing. Don't think I don't have a response for you. Now you have a response. You're already crossing that line. So patience, long suffering. You suffer long. You deal with difficult people. You deal with them by quenching any fire they are bringing, by using the defeat or any quarrel that may want to begin. So you be the one that settles quarrels. In your relationship, be like that. If both of you are like that, there will be no quarrels. One person is always bringing it hot. The other person is always cooling it down. At some point you look like a mad person because you're the one always shouting. You are the one always making a scene. People are wondering who the other person is quarreling with. Have you seen it before? So who is he shouting at? Who is he shouting? Because the other one is not even doing, he's just going. So who is he fighting with? Shouting. Because the other one has chosen the way of peace. So you deal with difficult people. Deal with difficult situations by your responses. I always tell you, you control your responses. People should not control you. A believer is in control. A believer is in charge. You are in control. It's a lame excuse to say the reason I spoke back is because he also, no, that's immaturity. You stay in charge of your emotions. You decide who you want to respond to and who you are going to leave blabbing. At your workplace, I told you, you can't. That is one of the most in physical places. You see crazy characters. And sadly, you can't sack them because you didn't employ them. And I've told you, you can't always, you are not working in your nature as a love being if you are always backing out of relationships. Say, I'm not working here again because my boss is toxic, my colleagues are toxic, my so and so are toxic, everybody is toxic. Then you leave. Say, I want to resign. So why? Because it's not a conducive atmosphere. Now, it's possible we have those kind of places, but it can't be that bad. And I can promise you that by the time you get to your next job, you will face something like that too. Because people will always be people. People will never change. And I gave you the root. The root is how we were raised, or we were exposed to. How we were raised. And you can't take that away from us. Now, some of them will call their father by name. Hey, Mark. Say, eh? You come to Nigeria, you wake up in the morning. You say, hey, Mark. They will put a mark on your back with cane. In fact, for many years, you don't even know your daddy's name. You only call him daddy. You don't know his name. You call him daddy, you call him mommy. So imagine that kind of person. You now meet him. He's shaking your hands, and maybe you start working for a foreign client and you're always calling him ma, always calling him sir, please sir. Say, no, just call me so and so. And you see her age. One of the people I work with, she's like a grandma. She's Jessica. We call her Jessica. Just like that. And they don't have any problem with it. You see her sometimes we do video calls, you see that she's elderly. She's in Israel. Just like that. No stress. Say, yes, ma. Sorry, ma. Please, ma. I want to just. They go straight to the point. They say what they want to say. They give instructions. No, though they use the basic words, please, all of that, but they don't know special Mr. So and so, Mrs. Jessica. That one is in Nigeria. You can call your colleague Jessica. Say, Je what? Kilo Jayu? Waiting you chop? That's not Yoruba speakers. Sorry. Waiting you chop. So you can't really control what people are going to say or do to you, but you can control your own response. Somebody calls you Jessica. I'm older than your father. Then you start giving him life history. Cool down. It's because of where he's coming from. He grew up in a foreign country where nobody cares about anybody's title. Suddenly they now meet you. They're not saying they are rude. Relax. So you can't control what people are going to say to you. You can't control how people are going to behave towards you. But you can bear long. You can suffer long. You can bear with them. Like I told you, you determine your own responses. As a good believer, you determine your responses. You determine what you are going to respond to and what you will not. And you also determine the kind of response. Don't give lame excuse and say, I didn't know when it came out of my mouth. That means you are not in control. I didn't know when I started. No, you should know. When that evil word was come out of your mouth, something should check you inside, except you are not born of God. The Spirit of God should put you in check that thing you're about to say is too much. Don't say that one. Keep it. I didn't even know when I started saying things. That's a lie. You have not mastered your nature. So you bear with people, knowing that people are from different places, different backgrounds, and you don't have a control over what people can say to you. You see a keke man, you don't know what he has gone through that day. He may have met a passenger like you, and you are trying to give him PTSD. The exact same thing he was delivered from by 1 hour ago, or just not long ago, you now came with that particular attitude. Then he's now taking it out on you. But you will now decide how you want to respond. Nobody must force responses out of you. You must be one that bears long. In your relationship, you bear long. Bear with your spouse. Your spouse is not perfect. They will never be. If you want perfection, marry yourself. Even you are not perfect. Like I always tell you, even you, many times you are not even happy with yourself. You are not pleased with how you just behaved. Not to now talk of somebody else. Too many expectations. They are the things that kill relationships. You expect him to know how to talk. Expect him to know how to behave. You are married to him. You expect him to know where to keep the toothbrush. You are so expectant though. You expect him to know when to wake up. To know what to say when he wakes up. You expect him to know what to say to you. You are expecting him to know how to treat you. Do you know how his father treated his mother? Like I told you guys many years ago, there are some things that I sincerely, ignorantly didn't know when I got married. I just, not like I was being wicked. I didn't know better. My wife was expecting me to behave in certain ways, but I didn't know. So you are always expecting. Is expectations that sap out the joy in relationships. Because every time an expectation is not met, hope is dashed. And disappointment sets in. Every time an expectation goes unmet, it's hope that was crushed. Because you were expecting, because hope is expectation. And then that hope is dashed. And then you now begin to feel disappointed. I taught a teaching some years ago. Behold, it was Leah. Just one part. It was a Valentine's Day teaching, 2020 or 2021, one of the two. You can get it. I taught there about expectations in marital relationships, when you are always expecting. Behold, it was Leah, because Jacob was expecting Rachel, but they gave him Leah. So you can get that teaching. It's just one part. To expectations, you are always expecting people to know how to behave. That's why those that work with personally, you know, I will have to teach, I will teach you, I will correct you. I won't stop because I'm not assuming you know. So that I won't be disappointed every time. It's now probably when I've corrected you and you didn't do anything that I will now not feel happy. But to always be expecting people to know how to behave, you don't know how he was raised. Maybe he was not raised with the father. You are expecting him to be like a perfect gentleman. He is going to have to learn it. Because I've realized that the way people grow is the way they behave. The exposures they have ultimately forms them. I've seen this thing in recent times. I've been seeing it very evident that people actually don't behave better than where they came from. You're complaining about his temper or her temper. Do you know what he used to see in the house? He used to see daddy and mommy boxing, fighting. Mother sitting on father, pounding him like yam. You know that some women beat their husbands. You don't know. But you can't talk about it in public. You can't say it because you say, how did you allow your wife beat you? But some women sit on their men and pound the life out of him. So the man has no say. You can't talk. So you're expecting someone to behave the way you like. You are going to expect for long and you'll be disappointed when they don't. But you can adjust yourself and determine how you want to respond, how you want to behave. A spouse is not, some of you enter relationships, you expect, or you get married to somebody and you assume that he has been married for 5 years. People that just got married, they don't know what it means to be married. They just got married. They have to learn the thing. Yes, we did marriage counseling, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, read 50 marriage books in the world. Until you become married, you will not be able to say some things. Those are married, I can tell you. Read all the books. Say, I'm preparing for marriage. It's good. Prepare. Listen to all the teachings. Only for you to 1 week after marriage, you start crying. Say, nobody prepared me for this one. Until you get married, there are things that we will even tell you that you think we are playing. You won't understand us until you face that thing.